Hello dear students, I am Dr. Sanjay Pagar, Associate Professor, Department of Geography. Dear student, I welcome all of you in this online video lecture series on behalf of Maratha Vidya Prasara Samajas, Charity Arts, BH Commerce and AM Science, popularly known as KTHM College Nasik. Dear student, this is our MAMSC Geography Part First Class, Semester 1 and title of our subject is Principle of Economic Geography and the code of our subject is GGUT 113. Dear student, in this lecture, we are going to discuss our topic number 5, that is transport and communication. And in this topic, we have a subtopic for today's discussion, that is geographical factor and transportation. Dear student, in previous lecture, we have discussed detailed information about modes of transportation part 4. In this part 4, we have discussed detailed information about air transportation. Dear student, for today's lecture, we have a study objective or learning objective that is very simple to discuss the geographical factor and transportation. It means how the geographical factor impact on development of transportation. Dear student, you know that the transportation is fundamental to the economic activity of actions and it is basic factor to develop the economic development of any country. You know that directly or indirectly we require the transportation for various purposes. Without transportation, really we cannot do any development. The geographical environment is differ from region to region or maybe place to place, which affect on development of transportation in any region. Dear student, therefore, we found the variation in development of transportation network or the density of the transportation network from region to region. It means what? Where the geographical factors are suitable in that area, we observe the very good development of the transportation. The various modes of transportation are developed in that region. On the other hand, if the geographical factor is not suitable, then definitely that region we observe that the lack of the development of the transportation facility or modes of transportation, numbers of the the proportion of the various modes of transportation we observe very less in that area where we don't have the suitability of the geographical factor. So therefore, let us see the what are the geographical factor that are affect on the transportation development of a region. First is relief. This is a very important factor. Second, we have the climate. Third, we have the geology of that region. Then we have the forest. Then we have the drainage. These are the 5 important factors, the geographical factor or the physical factor that directly or indirectly affect on the development of the transportation of any particular region. So let us discuss all these factors one by one. The first factor is relief. This is a very important factor. Dear student, you know that the differences in the relief affect the development of transportation of any region. Transportation is troubled by barriers like a mountains region due to its high altitude and the steep slope. You know that student. You know that the mountains are very steep. This region have very steeps, and you know that when the height is too much and they have very steep slope, then definitely in such area the construction of roads or railway or anything modes of transportation is not possible. If we can do it, but it requires a lot of capital and the modern technology for construction of the roads. But therefore, the most part of the world where we have the mountains region, this region really not developed with respect to the I'm talking about the modes of transportation. So even at some area we construct the road and railway, but see that is only we use for the some military purpose or some emergency purpose, but like other roads we not carry out the regular transportation from these roads. So therefore, dear student, if you do this, then definitely it is really very dangerous and risky, and there is a possibility of the accident because this area is really not suitable for the transportation purpose. Therefore, you know that student. So you see the network whatever available on the surface, but in the region of the region which is covered by the mountains, here you will observe that it is undeveloped with respect to the transportation facility or transportation network and density. For example, in our India, in the northern part of the India, that is total covered by the Himalayan region. So in that region, really we don't have too good transportation network only due to the this region is covered by the various mountain ranges. And same thing we observe in the northeastern India. That part is also there. Also we have the lot of mountain ranges are there, and they are really the main barrier to construct and develop the transportation facility. If you're talking about the in case of the Maharashtra, yes, in Maharashtra also, in the western part of the Maharashtra, that is covered by the Sahyadri range. In that region also, we have very less or a spare network transportation we available only due to the this area is largely covered by the or mainly covered by the various mountain ranges. Therefore, student, this is a very important factor. If an area that is covered by the mountains ranges, then definitely it is not suitable for the development of the transportation. But see, in the other hand, if that area is covered by the plain region, then definitely it is a very good and is suitable for the development of the transportation. You know that when the area is plain, in that area we can construct the road and the railway line and even the airport by investing a very less money, and there is not too much to carry out the transportation in that area. We don't have too much risky. So therefore, you know that the most part of the world that which is covered by the plain region, there we will observe that the very good and development of the transport network. It may be the railway transportation, it may be the road transportation or air transportation. All type of the modes transportation are developed in an area which is covered by the plain. Therefore, you observe that in case of India, I would like to share one example. In the northern part of the northern part of the India, which is covered by the Ganga plain or the northern plain, in that area, you observe that the very good dense network of the road transportation and the railway transportation. Why it is? It is only due to the this area is plain region, and here it is very easy to construct the railway track, to construct the road, and everything is very good. Therefore, not only in India but all part of the world where we have the such type of the plain region, there you definitely going to observe a very good dense network of the road. The same case we observe in the middle part of the Europe. There is also same case we observe that area is cover that is developed too much with respect to the road and railway network. Why it is? It is only due to the this area is very plain. So therefore, area any country or any part, if it is a plain and definitely demand is there, the population are there, then definitely such area is developed with respect to the transport network in that region. So dear student, this is very important. And another important thing is, if you are talking about the air transportation, yes, air transportation also requires the long runway and the taxiway to connect with the other places. If an area of flat land is available, then airport is possible. You see the whatever the if you see the map of the India and even the rest part of the world, you will observe that the most of the airports are located in a plain region. So therefore, this is also a very important thing, that when we're talking about the impact of the relief on the road transportation or maybe the any modes of transportation. So if that area is covered by the plain region, then definitely in that area we observe the very good network and the development of the transportation. Then dear student, another important thing, the physiography of the coastal region is also influence the ocean transportation. Yes, it's a very important thing. But see, if that area is a rocky coast with the number of the inland, then it is not suitable for the port. That because you know that the for port also we require the very good the plain region. If that coastal area is plain, then definitely it will be give boost to the development of the port at that particular region. So therefore, and another important thing, so see, for railway require, if you want to construct the railway track or railway line, then it requires a relatively level grounds. If it is too high, then definitely we are not going to develop, not going to construct the railway line. So therefore, when we are talking about the impact of the physiography on the railway transport, then definitely you keep in your mind that railway requires a relatively level ground. If it is a high steep, the steep of that region is high, then definitely we are not able to construct the railway line on that area. So therefore, this is a very important thing or important thing when we discuss about the impact of the relief on the modes of transportation or the development of transportation at any particular region. Let us talk about the second important factor, that is climate. Dear student, the climate is another important factor that affects the development of network of transportation at any place. The different element of the climate, like a temperature, the precipitation, is rainfall, winds, all these things have impact on the modes of development of the transportation at particular region. You know that student, if the area have a very extreme climate, like a cold polar climate that we have, it is in polar region. In that region, we observe that the very less temperature, most part of the world, the temperature remain the 0 degrees Celsius. Or in the desert region, this is the opposite condition. Here we have a very high temperature. Most part of the year, here we observe the temperature more than 50 degrees Celsius. Whereas in equatorial region, we have very high rainfall. Here we have an average rainfall more than 250 centimeters. So dear student, when we have such type of the very extreme climatic condition, this climatic condition is not suitable for the construction and the development of the roads or maybe railway of any modes of transportation. Therefore, a region where we have such type of the extreme climatic condition, like a polar region, like a desert region, like a equatorial region, here due to this climatical factor, very extreme condition, we are not able to construct or develop the any modes of transportation at some extent. It may be possible some roads are we constructed only due to the for security purpose or maybe for emergency purpose to help in that area, but generally we are not able to use regular route or like other places where we have a very good network of road network, and in that area we can carry out the transportation regularly. But in this area we are not able to carry out the transportation of various goods and things. So therefore, area where we have such type of the very extreme climatic condition, that area is not suitable for development of the transportation. But see, therefore, let us see some example in India also. If we're talking about the Maharashtra, in Konkan region, the transportation is badly affected by the rainfall, heavy rainfall. You know that this area have a very heavy rainfall, especially I'm talking about the rainy season. Sometime it is not possible to us in rainy season to go move up to the 10 kilometer also. Why? It is due to the heavy rainfall. And another important thing, that the winds and the stormy weather condition also influence the schedule of even the large ships and the flight of the aeroplanes. You know that when the climatic condition very bad, so therefore a area which have always remain under the bad climatic condition, in that area we are not able to develop or construct the railway, aeroplane, airport, or maybe the road transportation. Why? Because we know that if it is a remain all throughout the year in the with the bad weather condition, then really we are not able to construct or develop that area as a part of the transport network. Therefore, this is also one very important limitation when we are talking about the impact of the climate on the transportation network. Dear students, then another important thing, see, the very cold climate, the very cold winter in the temperate countries freeze the waterway. That is very important things. In winter season, northern railway are always late due to the foggy condition and the less visibility. This is it is a normal phenomenon in India. If you see the schedule and the timetable of the northern railway, that in the winter season, that time, you know, so not for 1 and 2 hours, but maybe the 12 and 20 hours, these trains are always run late. So why it is? It is only due to the very cold climatic condition. So there are the foggy condition and the visibility is very less, that pilot or maybe that driver is not able to see a road clearly, and therefore you're not able to drive that railway engine or maybe the car in the proper way in that area. So therefore, this is also a limitation. So therefore, where we have a very cold climatic condition, that region also not developed too much as compared to the other part of the maybe the worlds, or maybe if you are talking of the India, yes, in India also the northern part remain underdeveloped with respect to the transportation network, development of the transportation network. The one reason is very important, as a cold climatic condition that is remain mostly part of the years. So this is very important things. Then student, the snowfall reduce the visibility. road and railway are blocked during the very heavy rainfall. It is a common in Mumbai about the traffic jam due to the heavy rainfall. See, this is also very important. We have a very good network in the Mumbai, but see, when we're talking about the in the winter season, that time the traffic jam is a very common phenomena that we observe each and every year due to the heavy rainfall. So during that purpose, the most roads are flooded due to the rainy water. So that is damaged very immediately. If you repair before the monsoon season, but immediately when the rain started continuously raining in that region, that flooded, these all road are carried out, the material is carried out with the rainwater. So therefore, this is a very important. Same condition we observe in many part of the world, cities of the world where we have very heavy rainfall. And another important thing, the snow reduces the visibility. Yes, in northern India also it is very common. Not only in the North India, but even the North Canada, North USA, North America. That is, then we have the North Europe, Siberia. These are the places where only due to the snowfall, that is snowfall we observe there during the winter season, and that is why in that region also we don't have very good transportation network due to the snowfall, and it's reduce the visibility. And in such a area, in such a bad weather condition, we are not able to continue our transportation, and therefore there is a limitation to construct and develop the road, railway, or any modes of transportation only due to the why snowfall continue in that area. So this is a very important. These are the very important example that which shows us that yes, the climate is a very important factor that affect on the development of the road transportation. Then another important thing, the stormy winds are dangerous to water and the airway. Heavy rain fall result in the flood, and the road always are inundated. So dear student, means what you know, sir, in this area, you know, sir, some Northeast India, I am talking about the example of Northeast India, here also, so only due to the heavy rainfall and in the winter season also, you know that the most part is the flooded prone area of the India, and therefore it is a regular phenomena. Each and every year in the rainy season, you will observe that area is totally covered by the flood. So therefore, in such area, to construct the railway or construct the road is not possible. If we do that at some, but it's a temporary adjustment of the, we just carried out the transportation for temporary purpose, but not a permanent purpose. So therefore, this is also very important factor that also affect on the development of the transportation. Especially I'm talking about the Northeast India. One thing is there, stormy winds are dangerous to water and airway. You really, dear student, you know that the most part of the ocean or maybe the sea, that if that is every time it is affected by the stormy winds, then definitely that area we avoid the transportation through that area, because if you do that, then definitely it's too much risky and dangerous for us. So therefore we avoid that area where we have the always stormy wind blow. So therefore this area not developed when we are talking about the development of the water transportation through that area. So therefore this is also climatic phenomena that affect the development of the transportation. Let us talk the another important factor, that is forest. Now, you know that what is forest? Forest is a large area which is dominated by the tree. A forest is a large area where trees grow very close to each other. So means if we see the real example of the forest, yes, we observe that such type of the real forest in the equatorial region where we have the very dense forest. If you see the density and the variety and the density of the trees, you will observe that within 1 kilometer we have about 1,000 type of the trees, and all trees have a very close to each other and very dense forest. You will observe when such area is covered by the any place, then definitely in this area it is very difficult to construct road, railway, or airport, because it is not accessible construction of all these modes of transportation. Therefore the area which is covered by the dense forest, that is remain undeveloped with respect to the modes of transportation and development of the transportation. That is I given the example of rainy equatorial region. But see, the forest areas always very marshy. Therefore, during the rainy season, it is a very difficult to drive a vehicle on a road, and if it do that, then definitely it is very risky. So therefore, if you're talking about the very heavy rainy area like equator region, in that area we always observe the marshy area. So because, and in such area it is not possible to drive even the car also, or maybe the very small vehicle also, due to the marshy region. So, and if you do that, then definitely it is very risky to us. Therefore such area is not developed too much when we are talking the development of transportation in that area. Another important thing that, so I just mentioned about the, when we are talking about this, the equator region is totally covered by the forest. Therefore, as compared to other part of the world, we don't have too much road and railway, or maybe the other modes of transportation in that area. Let us talk about the another important factor that affect on the development of the transportation, that is geology. The geology of any region is also affect on the development of transportation of that region. An area having a unstable geological condition is always risky and transportation. Now you know that when such areas have this, in this area you observe the earthquake and volcano, landslide. These are the very common phenomena, and then it can be occur any time. So when we have a such type of the what you can say, the probability of there, then definitely we avoid the to construct the road, railway, or even the any transport modes of transport in that area, because you know that in that earthquake, volcano can be happen anytime. So in case of the Japan, the area which is most earth prone or maybe the volcanic prone, in that area they avoid the construction of the road, railway, and other modes of transportation. Therefore it is very important, if the area geological, that area have a very unstable, that is not stable, then definitely in such area the roads and transportation not developed too much when we are compared with the other part of the region. So see, in the Japan also, I just mentioned the example of Japan. Not only Japan, but all part of the where we have a very that area is earth prone, or maybe the volcano prone. In that area, the development of the roads, railway, and other modes of transportation we observe very less. So when we are talking about the impact of the geology, then we have another important one. But see, sometime if an area having a lot of minerals in that area, so definitely that time there is a positive impact. That area is developed with respect to the road transportation. See one example of the India, we have a Chota Nagpur Plateau region. You know that it is a very rich region with respect to availability of the minerals. We have numbers of the minerals are there. So therefore, the most of the industries are developed, concentrated in that region, and therefore railway and road network is very good developed there. Why it is developed? Only due to the raw materials available for various factory, various industry, and the energy resources are available. Iron are available there, coal is available. So most of the minerals are available in that area. Therefore, industrialization is developed. Industrialization started in that region, and lot of industry develop, or maybe there is a very dense network of the industry we observe. Therefore, to provide the basic facility, that is from the road, is very important. Therefore, in that region, road, railway, and even some airport also develop only due to the geological structure of that region, where we have a very good mineral resources. Dear student, then one last impact factor, the geographical factor, that is drainage or the water bodies. Area which is covered by the water body is not too much suitable for road and railway transportation. Dear student, if you want to construct the road in such area, then it's require a lot of investment and money for the construction of the bridge for the roads. See one example, very important. We have the Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines. These are the country where lot of part is covered by the water. These are all the area have this country have a island structure area. So therefore, in that area they develop the network, but see, they require they construct for the construction of the road and railway, they invest lot of money. But see, there is no any option. Therefore, they do this. But when we are talking of the other part of the world, if that area is covered by the water body, it may be lake, it may be river, it may be the sea, or it may be whatever it is, that is, if it covered by the water body, then really it is not suitable for, I am talking about the particularly road transportation and railway transportation. It may be at some extent it's useful for the water transportation, that is inland water transportation, but other modes of transportation is not developed too much in that area. See, But in India also we have a very good this water body at some extent. I'm talking of the Ganga river. Some channel of the Ganga river is very useful for the water transportation. So therefore, in that area, India water transportation developed in some part of the Ganga plain. But see, which area is covered by the Ganga and its tributary, in that area definitely we not observe too much road and railway transportation. I'm talking about the very close to that channel region. I'm not talking of the delta region, but I'm talking about the that area which is covered by the river channel only. The other, maybe the other delta, maybe the we have a very good dense network of the transportation, but I am talking about the water bodies. If that covered by that area, then definitely in that area it is not possible to construct good railway, good road network in that region. It may be possible we can able to do water transportation at some extent. Dear student, this was about today's lecture. Today in this lecture we discuss about the how the geographical factor impact on the development of the transportation and the modes of development of the various modes of transportation. In next lecture we are going to discuss another important topic that is very important. So okay, thank you.